Welcome to Outwitting the Devil Applied. This course will literally change your life. This is forbidden knowledge that was hidden away for almost 100 years. This book was literally written back in like the 1920s, 1930s, and it did not release until 2011 because it was hidden away. So what you are about to learn in these next videos will change your life. So take out a notebook and truly apply this. This knowledge is gate-kept and was gate-kept for a very long time for a reason. But luckily enough today, it has been released, but still, many have not read it yet. So I will be unveiling all of the sauce within these pages of Napoleon Hill's interview with the devil. So stay tuned and keep watching. Welcome to Outwitting the Devil Applied. This is where your life will be changed. The knowledge that lies ahead will quite frankly wake you up to the realities of our world and how to separate yourselves from the pack. So pay close attention, take out your journals. This knowledge was hidden away for a very long time and it is for a very specific reason. So now, the reason why you found this video was not a coincidence. God wanted you to find this today. God wanted you to watch this today. And that is why you are here. You are not watching this video for a coincidence. You are here because God wants you to see this. God wants you to wake up. And let's get right into it. So, the devil controls 98 out of every 100 men. I said it right. 98 out of every 100 men are drifting. Now I'm going to get into what drifting means and how dangerous it actually is. But he controls 98% of the human population. Here's a quote from the book by the devil himself. I cause people to drift through life without knowing their definite purpose. Key quote presentation. This quote literally defines what he does to people. I mean, what the devil does, right? What that force, energy, whatever you want to call it does. Negative energy. That's essentially what the devil is. It's just negative energy. But you're drifting through life without knowing your definite purpose because you are so caught up on things of the flesh. You're caught up on things of the world. So many people take, essentially, I want to say life so seriously that they believe that the only thing that there is in this life is this body and there's nothing else. But if that were the truth, how would you explain the countless amount of phenomena that go on? Right? People think that literally this flesh is all there is and you need to indulge in fornication and drugs and alcohol and enjoy it while it's here. But do you really think that if there is a God, if there is, whatever you want to believe out there, right? There's God. I believe in God. I'm faith driven. But do you really think that God would make humans and make people to come to this earth to be toxic to each other, to hurt each other, to engage in sexual intercourse all the time, to abuse drugs and alcohol, and then just call their life there? Do you really think that the creator of the universe would do that? It makes no sense. The creator of the universe would rather send people here to learn each other on a deeper level, to experience love on a deeper level, and truly become conscious and grow together and have fun and build lives that they want and be creative. God sent us here to create life, to create love, to bring love to the world. He didn't send us here to just destroy everything. That doesn't even make sense. It literally makes no sense. But the impact of drifting is that drifting through life is driven by vagueness. It's literally just being passive, being caught up in so many cycles that have been taught to you and inherited through on generations upon generations. I mean, nowadays it's like with this generation we're growing up in, it's essentially just like hooking up is just normal. Going to parties every weekend and getting drunk is normal. You're weird and you're an outcast if you don't drink. You're weird and you're an outcast if you don't do drugs. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And it's like, we're regressing as a human society right now. And it's like the devil is winning because he's just gaining more and more control. Now, there are a lot of people waking up, but at the end of the day, it's still about 98 out of every 100. So what is drifting? The definition of drifting is the state of lacking clear purpose or direction, influenced by external factors and avoiding action. So drifting is literally the state in which you just don't have a clear purpose in life. You're like Maybe you're in college, maybe you're going through school, maybe you're working a 9 to 5 job, and you kind of just wake up every single day and you're like, oh, this is just life, man. This is chill. Like, go do my homework, or, I go to work, just work 9 to 5, and then I come home, drink a beer and put on Netflix, and that's it. And I get a paycheck. I get to use it every weekend. So I'm happy. It pays for my rent. Like, I'm happy. Okay. But what's your purpose? God didn't put you here to just show up to that job every day, be settled for that paycheck, and have a little bit of money every month. You have a greater purpose in your heart. God planted something much, much deeper in your heart. You have greater purpose. God wants you to, do something with it. I promise you, nobody is here on this earth to just settle for, the same paycheck every day and do the same thing all the time and just call that life. There's more for you. I don't know what it is, but there is more for you. I'm telling you that. That dream that's in your heart, that thing that you're afraid to even mention to people because it's so big, that's your life's purpose. And it's like, you may not be able to fathom how it's possible, but as soon as you actually start to take action every day, it's inevitable. It will be yours because we are creators. God created us, but there's also a piece of God within each and every single one of us. We're creators. So manifestation of drifting in life. How does drifting manifest in your life? So drifters allow external circumstances to dictate their choices, lacking intentional control over their life path. So if you find yourself being someone that, maybe, anything is a state of drifting, right? So let's say, whatever, somebody called out of work and now you got to do double the work now today. And now you're angry and you're like, my whole day is ruined because she called out of work. She's such a whatever. I can't stand her. Like, why does this happen? And then you fall off course. You fall off track entirely. You're drifting. You already caught yourself in a drifting cycle, in a hypnotic rhythm, because of the fact that you are allowing external circumstances to dictate your life. However, the way around this is to literally just not react to things like that. It's to literally just be like, yo, I'm in control. I'm like, I already know I have everything I want. Like, God's got me. I got nothing to worry about. Like, this happened. Okay, it's just a test. I'm literally just being tested of my patience. And you know what? I'm going to laugh in the face of it and I'm going to win the test. That's all it is. And there's big consequences of drifting. If you don't have clear purpose, you're vulnerable to confusion. You're going to be stagnant. External situations like somebody calling out of work, or like, maybe somebody honking at you in traffic, is going to absolutely ruin your life. Literally days, months, weeks. You'll probably be mad over something small. Like, drifting is killer. And then you know what that leads to is, my boy told me this quote, is that there's nothing worse than a regret-filled coffin. Or I think it's the only thing worse than death is a regret-filled coffin. Imagine dying and being filled with regret, knowing you didn't do everything you could. Like, that's exactly why the devil is here. The devil wants that. The devil wants you to engage in all these things of your flesh, but when the flesh dies and the spirit lives on, you're going to be like, damn, man, I didn't even do what I was like called to do. And you're going to feel dumb. So it's like, take action. This is how you take action. You're on this video for a reason. So let's keep going. The drifter versus the non-drifter. So characteristics of a drifter. Drifters tend to be reactive, follow trends, avoid responsibility, and wait for clarity before acting. Like, drifters are not leaders, they're followers. They follow the masses. So, for example, let me think of like a trend. So, you guys remember like that galaxy gas thing that was going around like earlier this year, or I think it was last year. I don't even remember, where these people would like inhale this gas and they would like get all like high and stuff. And it was a huge trend on TikTok and people were just like hopping on it. And I'm like, yo, this thing's literally killing your brain cells, bro. Like, you would literally see people inhale it and they'd pass out. And people thought it was funny. And it's like, drifters are just reactive. They follow trends. Had that trend taken off further, I promise you, like, you probably would have known multiple friends who've done it. And it's because drifters tend to be reactive. They follow trends. Avoid responsibility as well. Drifters don't take accountability. They blame everybody but themselves. And they don't want to take accountability. They blame the world. They blame life. And it's like, it's literally your fault. The mirror can't give you something that you don't reflect to it. The mirror is not going to give you love if the thing that's looking into the mirror doesn't even love itself. It's as simple as that. And that's essentially what a non-drifter is. It's just blaming everything externally, going through life coping, and having no definite purpose. Now, the characteristics of a non-drifter. Non-drifters are decisive, follow a clear purpose, take full ownership, and create clarity proactively. Like, non-drifters, it literally says it in the book, the devil's like, I can't control non-drifters. Non-drifters are out of my control because all the thoughts that I plant in their head, they understand it's not theirs. The obstacles I throw in their path, they're able to look around it and keep moving. He's like, the non-drifters are like out of my control. They belong to my opposition. Now, who's the devil's opposition? God. So it's like, in the Bible, when it talks about, being a shepherd to the sheep, right? You have a flock of like 100 sheep or whatever. Let's say you have a flock of 100 sheep, right? 100 people who look up to you, and they care about you, and you care for them. And there's that one sheep that runs away, the black sheep. And you're called to leave the 99 there because they're loyal to you, they care about you, and go after the black sheep, even though the black sheep doesn't really like you. And that's kind of the job that we have as non-drifters, essentially, to inspire others through our actions and bring more drifters to the light and make them non-drifters. Because the thing is, we can't change people through like telling them to do something. Everybody has free will. It talks about it in the book. The devil's like, you can't change anybody, even myself. I cannot physically make somebody do something. They have to do it out of their own choice. So it's like, you can't force somebody to break out of a drifting cycle, but you can inspire them through actions. Actions speak louder than words. When somebody sees you're happy every day, they're going to ask you, bro, why are you so happy all the time? How do you do it? I'm not happy. I want to know how. You plug in your testimony, and now you plant the seed in their head, and then they're going to try it. That's what happened to me. I was super far away from faith. I was super like just not there. And my mentor would always plant these like seeds in my head. Without him, like, I don't know if he consciously knew he was doing it, but he would plant seeds in my head, or he would say like stuff about God and stuff like that. And I was like raised like believing in God and stuff, but I moved away from it a lot in my teenage years. And eventually I came around. Within a few months, I was like back faith driven, hit rock bottom, and found God. And it was like everything changed. So it's like your actions can literally change somebody's life. So it's like life outcomes of non-drifters. Non-drifters are literally, they embody the fact that they are creators. Non-drifters say they're going to do something and they do it no matter how big it is. Non-drifters are the people that say, yo, I'm going to launch a 7-figure business, and like, that's what I'm going to do. That's just my life. I know I'm going to have it. I'm going to do everything I can every day, and it's mine. And you see them do it. But drifters, some drifters will oftentimes say they have these big dreams and not do anything about it. They'll just be all talk. Or they'll just follow a regular career path they don't even like. They just want the paycheck so they can blow it on like girls and money and blow it on random stuff. But like, the non-drifter understands that he has the power to create. Anything that you believe, you can achieve. That's the difference. You can literally recognize these people from now. You can literally, as soon as you actually understand these principles, you walk throughout life, you will notice when there's a non-drifter, you'll notice when there's a drifter. Now, the Bible called it first. Scriptural warnings on drifting. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18 emphasizes that without vision, people perish, highlighting the dangers of lacking purpose. Like, if you guys haven't read Proverbs, read Proverbs. Extremely valuable book. It's by King Solomon, one of the wisest men in history. Extremely recommend. But it literally emphasizes without vision, people perish. If you don't have a purpose, you're going to perish. If you are not growing, you are literally getting one step closer to dying every single day. It's a fact. It's a fact. You need to always be going for your goals if you really care about your life. And it's like, the Bible teaches the absence of purpose. Like, it literally teaches that the absence of purpose leads to confusion and stagnation. So it's like, if you don't have a purpose in your life, you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel lazy. You're going to be like, what should I do today? I'm bored. Like, that's the type of stuff that you face when you don't have a purpose. If you find yourself getting bored, you don't have a purpose. That's just the truth. And it's like, you need to have a life purpose. As humans, we are literally wired to like be purpose driven and to like want to like work at something and be rewarded for it. So it's like, you have to have a purpose. Now, purpose is protection. How does purpose protect individuals? Literally, when you have a purpose, it strengthens your identity, it makes you more disciplined, and it literally breaks you free from the clutches of the devil. Because when you have a purpose, you are literally essentially broken free from the clutches of the devil. Like the benefits are you're countering fear. You have a purpose. You have literally what the devil says he can't control. People who are non-drifting, who are fixated on a specific purpose and doing everything that they can to get there, he can't touch them. So it's like purpose is literally your protection. It is keeping you safe. It is getting you to where you need to be. And it's like the more you drift, the more you kind of stay in this state of like la la land. You're just out of the loop, and years are gonna fly by and you're just not gonna grow because you don't want to do what's hard. Purpose isn't easy. It's uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable path, but it's the most rewarding one. Not just on this earth, but once you leave the earth, you get to leave knowing you did everything you could. Now, the tools of confusion. So, this is where people get confused. This is where essentially the devil keeps people away from finding their purpose. So, it's like confusion arises from busyness, overthinking, self doubt, noise from media and culture, indecision, which cloud purpose and induce passivity. So, what does that mean? The devil will confuse you by throwing a bunch of obstacles in your path. He'll throw random women in your path, start hitting you up, make you start overthinking, plant thoughts in your head. You see the media, you watch the news every day. That's clouding your purpose. All that is clouding your purpose. And if you can't see through it, you're literally falling right into his traps, and he's laughing. He's laughing at you because you fall into it every single time. That girl who always hits you up to link and you do it, he's laughing at you. He's like, damn, bro, you're so easy to control. And it's like the closer you get to breaking free from the devil, the more obstacles he will throw at you. That's just how it works. And now impact on direction and focus. These tools, these things that the devil plants, they disrupt your clarity and focus. They'll literally make you drift without realizing it. You might think, yo, like I have this big dream, and then you'll catch yourself falling back into that hypnotic rhythm and losing sight of your mission and vision. So it's like you need to have the discernment to see that when you are growing, you're going to face bigger attacks. The more you grow, like essentially you're going to face different obstacles from the devil. It's just like there's always going to be different obstacles. You just need to be able to have the discernment to see them and to overcome them. So let's get real. I want you to deeply reflect on your life and areas where you may be drifting and ignoring the vision God has given you. We all have areas of our life that we can improve on. Deeply reflect on yours. Where may you be drifting? Where are you ignoring the vision God's given you? Are you doing everything you can on a day-to-day basis to get to where you want to be? Or are you kind of just doing it one day a week, and then the other 6 you're not embodying it? You really got to be honest with yourself, because that's the only way that you can break free. And now, acknowledging reality. You got to embrace your God-given vision and commit fully to your purpose-driven life. You're here for a reason. God called you here for a reason. It's time, bro. It's time to take action. It's time to stop being soft. It's time to do what's hard. The path of the righteous, the path that God wants you to walk, is not an easy path, but I promise you it's so much more rewarding because you find yourself in the process. You're content with your life and you feel whole and complete. No other person is going to make you whole and complete, but you know what? Will God, and following in God's will. It's the only thing. So it's like, I just want to see you guys win. That's really it. So get real with yourself, reflect, and take action. So, weekly challenge, define your mission. I want you to literally define your mission statement. I want you to literally reflect on the worksheet in your Notion for the guys in the program. Write the 30-day mission statement. I want you to literally write it down, follow the Notion worksheet, and submit it for accountability. So send it to me, send me a screenshot, whatever it may be. But I want you to reflect on it. And I want you to write it out. I want you to write out your biggest goal for this next 30 days and what you are going to do. And take action. Because that's how it all starts. It all starts with action. Purpose alone isn't enough. So defining your purpose, yeah, you find your purpose. That's great. But that's only the beginning. You also have to actively defend it. It's like a home base. You got to defend it to have impact. You have to constantly work at it every day. Otherwise, it's just a dream that's far-fetched. But if you're taking the actionable steps daily that we're getting you to do, waking up, doing the 5-5-5 method, going to the gym, eating nutritious, literally working on your mindset and pushing yourself, you are actively doing what you can. So it's like you need to truly have mastery over the self, over thyself, over yourself, so that you can progress and you can truly follow your purpose to the best and biggest extent. Because just having the dream alone and purpose alone, it's not enough. You need to be consistent. Because guess what? If you fall off track every 2 weeks, you're essentially in the middle of being a non-drifter and a drifter. You're like smack dab in the middle and you're not choosing a side. And then you're just like taking a step forward, a step backwards. So essentially you're not moving at all. Stagnation. But guys, that is going to wrap up this lesson today. Hope you guys got a ton of value out of it. We're going to still be going deeper into Outwitting the Devil and analyzing this book from front to back. This was just the first lesson. Apply, guys, because these principles will change your life. In the next one, I'm going to unveil some even more secret things that the devil has and ways that the devil controls us. So stay tuned for that. This concludes this episode. I will catch you guys on the next one.